Okay, guys, so now I want to show you a clip because I believe that we need a change. When it comes to how we are doing politics, how we're trying to connect to people, we can always learn a little bit more. We can always do a little bit better. And I saw this clip today of Kevin McCarthy. It involves also Sean Hannity and Donald Trump. It's a clip from MSNBC. Let me play the clip and I'll be right back with some comments because this is going to highlight such a sharp contrast between them. So watch it and we'll be right back.
The House of Representatives, Donald Trump tonight and Sean Hannity spent some time questioning Joe Biden's mental competence. Kevin McCarthy, in describing his negotiations as Speaker of the House with the President of the United States, said that the president was very professional, very smart, very tough at the same time.
Did you guys hear that? I was actually shocked when I heard it. I'm like, let me play this clip again. I'm going to play it again for you. So I really want you to grasp the concept of what's going on here. Let me play it again. Please listen carefully.
The House of Representatives, Donald Trump tonight and Sean Hannity spent some time questioning Joe Biden's mental competence. Kevin McCarthy, in describing his negotiations as Speaker of the House with the President of the United States, said that the president was very professional, very smart, very tough at the same time.
Okay, so did you guys hear that? So on one hand, you have Donald Trump and Sean Hannity, according to the clip. We have them questioning Joe Biden's mental sanity. On the other hand, you have Kevin McCarthy saying that in negotiating with Biden, he could observe that Biden was professional, smart, and tough. Kevin McCarthy saying, Republican Speaker McCarthy saying that Joe Biden was, during this negotiation, professional, smart, and tough. Can we say the same thing about Donald Trump? Look at him here with Sean Hannity. Instead of, maybe addressing the real issues that people want to hear, things that would have helped to, maybe just bridge the gap, like bring people together closer to making a deal. What was Trump saying? It doesn't matter. Let's go to default. He wanted the country to default because he wants to bring the house down. He'd rather see it all go to hell because he's not the president. If the country would have, gone into default, that would have been the best probable or possible scenario. Trump is not going to suffer that much. Of course, his business can suffer, but Trump is not going to suffer as much. But he didn't care. He preferred, he would have preferred the country to go into default because he could have blamed then the Democrats and Biden. But I am shocked. I was surprised to hear that Kevin McCarthy just said that Biden was professional and smart and tough. And that brings me to my next point, guys. This is a rare instance in which you see Kevin McCarthy show some integrity, some level of honesty that we can never expect to hear or to get from Donald Trump. Trump literally is incapable of doing something like that. Why do you think Donald Trump is losing, guys? Why do you think the Republican Party has become this losing brand? That's what DeSantis is claiming. We have to move past. This is what DeSantis said in launching his campaign. We have to move past this losing brand, this losing mindset that we have going on. That's what the Republican Party has turned into. It's a losing brand. Trump won in 2016 due to the electoral votes. We know he lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton by almost 3 million votes. Then he lost to Biden by freaking landslide, 7 million votes. But did you guys know that Ronald Reagan once got 49 states to vote for him? He won 49 states. His opponent only won one state, and that was apparently his hometown, state. And 49 states, that's impressive. He got 525 electoral votes. That was not a landslide. That was a lynching of his political opponent. And he got 58.8% of the vote. I think this was 1984. But what I want to get to is, why Ronald Reagan was at that point, I think it was 1984, so freaking dominating to win 49 states, guys. If you haven't read about that, go and read why his ability to connect. I was listening to this, I don't know. I think it was a podcast or maybe one of these political, commentators on the news. They were saying Ronald Reagan, even if you disagreed with him, he had such a magical way to say things that even if you were a political opponent, even if you disagreed with him, you would have said, you know what? Yeah, that's true. He would present things in such a way with, masterful art of public speaking, communication. He was a master of communication. Trump is a master at media manipulation, generating ratings, kind of like swaying the public opinion, but it's all about manipulating. Trump is not a master of communication like Reagan was back in the day, Ronald Reagan. So that ability to connect, it's, we're lacking that. We don't see that. So I was surprised. And I want to say thank you, Kevin McCarthy, even though I disagree almost, 99.9% with your policies. I was, just impressed about the fact that you had a moment of integrity and honesty that we need so desperately in this country, because we are not enemies, guys. We're all Americans. We are not enemies. So we have to learn to go beyond this low level, like I said, unarticulated, aggressive nature of politics that we're seeing, especially coming from the MAGA movement, especially coming from Donald Trump. And that leads me to my next point. I have a clip from 2008. John McCain obviously was running against Obama. And at some point, he's holding this rally, one of his events. I don't know, it looked like a town hall or something. Some of his supporters, Republicans, they come up to the microphone. They start talking all sorts of crazy about Obama. And listen to how John McCain responded. Guys, this is literally next level, high level, IQ, emotional intelligence, empathy, and like absolutely elegant, masterful politics. We have to go back to this. Let me play the clip for you.
We're scared of an Obama presidency, and I'll tell you why. I'm concerned about someone that cohorts with domestic terrorists such as heirs.
I have to tell you, he is a decent person and a person that you do not have to be scared as President of the United States. Now, look, I
got to ask you a question. I do not I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not.
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
Wow, guys, that video, every time I watch it, I gain a little bit more respect for John McCain. Like, I really understand that he was way ahead of his time when it came to politics, decency, integrity. Because I'm going to tell you something. It takes balls to be hosting your own event, your own rally, your own town hall, and have some of your own supporters come up and criticize and attack your opponent, and for you to stop them. When would Donald Trump do something like that to say, hey, no, Biden is, he's a good family man, guys. I just think he's nuts. His decisions are crazy, but he's definitely an American. He's a good citizen. He's not, he's definitely not a criminal. When can you expect Donald Trump to say something like that? So in other words, it takes balls, it takes decency, it takes tons of integrity. Especially it takes a high level of unselfishness, which is something that we can never, ever expect coming out of Donald Trump. That's the sharp contrast that I'm talking about, because Donald Trump wants you to believe that you must hate somebody, that you have to hate somebody, be it like, the media. He wants you to hate Biden. He wants you to hate the Democrats. He wants you to hate Congress. He wanted his people to hang Mike Pence, or at least he was on board with it, according to the January 6th investigation. When he heard about people wanting to hang Mike Pence, chanting that they wanted to hang Mike Pence, he said, well, maybe he deserves it. Maybe they got the right idea or some shit like that, he said. Fucking unbelievable that you would have a president of the United States say that a freaking mob trying to kill the vice president would have the right idea because he deserves it. That is low level, as low as you can get, guys. So that's all I'm saying. That's what I wanted to highlight with this section, the segment of the podcast. We need to do better. We are not enemies. The media is not the enemy. Congress is not the enemy. School boards are not the enemy. Trans people are not the enemy. The LGBT community is not the enemy. Disney is not the enemy. We're just Americans. Everybody is in this, and we need to find that common space. We're in this together. If the country goes down in flames, we're all going down with it. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I think you saw more than enough with this video. It highlights the sharp contrast between politicians from, like the gutter, at the gutter level, like Donald Trump, inflammatory, aggressive, unarticulated, pretty much crazy. And then you have people that have a very elegant and respectful approach, like John McCain. And there's tons of integrity there. There's a lot of courage, and especially balls, big balls, because it takes balls. It's easier to attack your opponent. It takes zero talent, zero knowledge, zero self-control to attack your opponent. But to say and do what John McCain said and did, guys, that's a whole another, level of, politics. And McCarthy just did a little bit of that, and I'm happy for that. So hopefully we can take away something, from this situation, learn, be a little bit better. So try to implement that in debating with me in the comments you're going to leave, or the next person you talk to about politics. Let's try to insult less. Let's try to bully less. And let's try to focus a little bit more on what brings us together and how we can bridge the gap to, move the country forward and just be better. Thank you for being here. This is the AranzamendiPodcast. I am Daniel Aranzamendi, and I'm extremely excited about launching my podcast. So please subscribe, please comment, please like the videos, please share them. And if you're not in agreement, just, participate. I'm happy to have you here anyway. So stay tuned, because there's way more topics and podcasts following on a daily basis. Okay, so thank you. I'll see you soon.